This is Pygmalion, my amazing husband. He's also a fantastic artist. He could sculpt anything, and people would have a hard time believing that it wasn't real. But my husband had a flaw. He was surrounded by many loose women who had no morals, and assumed that all females were this way. Disgusted by their shameful actions, Pygmalion decided to sculpt the perfect woman out of ivory. In his opinion, this meant that she couldn't talk or move. Her only feature would be her extreme beauty. The statue that he carved was me. He did such a fantastic job that anyone who laid eyes upon me could not believe that I was not real. Large crowds swarmed around me, hoping to get a glimpse at my overwhelming beauty. Soon, Pygmalion himself was under my spell. He admired me every day, and eventually fell in love. He placed sparkling jewelry on me, and gave me gifts of polished stones and gems, and kissed me non-stop all day. When it was time to sleep, he placed my head under a feather-soft pillow, as if I could feel it, and gave me the name Galatea, which means milk white. Around this time, the festival of Aphrodite came. Pygmalion decided to pray to the goddess of love for a wife that was like me, his beloved statue. But he was too ashamed to ask for what he really wanted, which was for me to be his wife. But Aphrodite was listening, and understood what he really wanted. She was curious as to how a man could love an inanimate object so much. She decided to grant his wish. Aphrodite sent down her son Eros. He came down next to me and planted a kiss on my hand. His magic swept through me and filled me with life. I had become human. When Pygmalion returned from the festival, he was shocked to see me staring back at him, and that my face had filled with color. He reached out to stroke my arm, expecting a cold, smooth surface, but instead found that it was warm and soft. I gave my creator a loving smile, and realizing that I was real, he was ecstatic. He placed a ring on my finger, and we were wed. He never forgot to thank Aphrodite for answering his prayers, and we lived happily ever after.
As you saw in this cute cartoon, Pygmalion's plot is so simple as a character who has made someone, literally such as by sculpting a statue, or figuratively for giving lesson in speech, behavior or etiquette, and finally has fallen in love with the creation.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
This is probably the most recognized version of this story nowadays, the musical My Fair Lady, which was based on the Vernon Shaw play Pygmalion. Professor Henry Higgins teaches the poor lower-class Eliza Doolittle to act and talk like an upper-class lady on a bed with his friend Colonel Pickering. He succeeds, but Eliza, tired of being treated as an experiment, rebels against him and leaves. Higgins eventually realizes that he has grown accustomed to her face just in time for her to return.
Pretty woman walking down the street.
Now, instead of being a lower-class flower girl, Vivian is a prostitute with a little education, and Pygmalion is Edward, a wealthy businessman. Vivian undergoes a physical transformation through the designer clothes necessary to her role as Edward's date, and her new appearance seems to transform her life, as he decides to leave prostitution and endow her with a new sensibility and nobility. Edward's physical alteration of Vivian through the clothes and the exposure to a more cultured society seamlessly transformed her from a pretty doll into a real person, making her now worthy of him. The list of versions is endless. Films such as This Old Dad or Anastasia, where a character changes the way of being of another. Or TV series which pay tribute to this great story, like The Simpsons episode Pygmalion. Family Guy with Stewie as Higgins.
What the devil is that ghastly noise?
It's me, Eliza Pinchy. Do you want a flower, little baby?
Excuse me, what I think you mean to say is, would I like a flower? Heaven, you don't so much speak the language as chew on it and spit it out.
God, what's wrong with the way I talk?
Everything. Look, here's a shiny sixpence if you keep your mouth shut and go away.
Or Gossip Girl, where Eliza is played by Blur.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. Again.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. Well, I'm a straight-A student, I am. The rain in Spain.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
And now the latest version, Pygmalion.
Twist